welcome, grasshoppers. It is time for a brief but enjoyable, crossing my fingers, Spassky study stream. I wanted to check out a few more things, and we're adding yet another game to our Spassky base here. Let's just draw this down. Actually, we'll leave it up there like that, just so that the name is at the bottom as well. Wonder if I can make it bigger. And then maybe without forcing the name off the page. Now, Boris Spassky in 1982, the picture that we're showing, of course, is from 1980. Probably a very similar tournament to London, Phillips, and Drew. But Spassky was a very universal player. He played both E4 and D4 on a regular basis. Depending on the opponent's repertoire, he would mix it up. And as you can see, this is relatively relevant and topical because E5 is the most popular move at the moment. Personally, I don't really believe in E5. It somewhat gives up the center. MD Knight. Just going to be a 10-minute stream maybe or so, just to get a game in on January 3rd. I don't know if it's going to work. Basically, I think I've already missed my window for both Europe, but I guess I'm going to find out if it's an actual January 3rd study stream or not, because for you and many others it could actually be January 4th right now. Trevlar from Detroit, how are you, sir? Good evening. Personally, I prefer the move knight to d2 or the Panov attack with e takes d5, c takes d5, and c4 followed by knight c3 for control. Those moves appeal to me a lot better, Trevlar, than the move e5. Chescudo, whoa. We even have a visit from a streamer as well. I don't know that Trevlar hasn't been streaming though. I should check him out. Just because I don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. You never know. But yeah, I just thought I'd... No. Nice. I was just experimenting with some tactics earlier and I was raising my rating over 2400. Then I took a slight hit and I went down to 2404, so I decided to take a break. Chescudo indeed. So personally, I do believe in the efficacy of c5. I think this is absolutely the best move. The vast majority of players play bishop f5, and I think if you get to shove black around, then you deserve what you get. I mean, you deserve to be able to play this opening anytime you feel like it. Now, Spassky, on the other hand, this is 1982, is a far more creative and universal player, and he wants to take his opponent a little bit out of book. H4 is best met by H5. Doesn't mean that white doesn't have a statistical advantage, as you can see over here with 41% for C4. And that is indeed what Spassky plays. Tackling the center. And one of the drawbacks to this particular move is that if black takes, we'll have a permanently backward D4 pawn. So D takes C4 is a very valid response here. Sirwan, however, goes a little bit off the rails with bishop takes B1. A, we're losing time in the opening. You're welcome, sir, anytime. A, we're losing time in the opening, and B, there it is. And we can cover it. And we're losing time in the opening, so I don't have to get this wrong. And after rook to b1, I'm not entirely sure what the advantages are here. Black immediately starts putting pawns on white squares after having exchanged his white square bishop, and he can hope to play for a pawn break later. Like, I see nothing wrong with both sides, despite the evaluation of what's going on the other side of the board. I want the evaluation gauge. I like it. I like to know that white has a significant advantage here because black wasted time and white has space. So how are we going to go about it? Well, Spassky immediately starts expanding on the queen side. I believe that probably a more logical move like knight f3, beginning to take advantage of these squares. It's also possible that we might want to play knight e2, knight f4, but not while our pawn is hanging. So perhaps knight h3, knight f4 is also a concept. Starkist doesn't like that. I wonder what it thinks the best move is. But a3 preventing bishop to b4 check, I don't really think black is going to do that. But possibly because black is short on space, bishop to b4 check would solve some of his problems. But meanwhile, black goes about the business of trying to improve his chances of a pawn break with c5. Knight f3, g6, and now the dark squares are excruciatingly ruined. Because the position is closed, this is now resembling a Gurgenidze variation. The only thing I would prefer is that our knight, we're already on f5. Maybe knight h6 was better before. But Saruhan is not afraid. And now in this particular position, we have to decide how we're going to go about our business. After all, we're not worried about the bishop capturing our bishop. Or are we? Saruhan was really, really good in slightly worse positions in his day. He did not mind defending. He was a grinder. Now, if we're going to have any chances at all, we're probably going to need an open line. So Spassky goes with c takes d5. And after c takes d5, bishop d3, rook c8, getting our king out of the center. And now black scooches his king over to g7. Possibly black should have simplified his task a little bit with bishop takes g5. And after knight takes g5, continued his rapid opening development before he worried about whether or not his king was in any danger. But instead, king to f8 was played. And now white immediately begins to fight for the open c-file. Now black's pieces are all sleeping. They're having a little bit of a tough time getting out. Warnaki, how are you? Or something, probably something. Exactly. Absolutely. Well, I'm not entirely sure why black should give up on this idea, but he can't move his queen while it's tied down to the rook. So rook takes c1, queen takes c1, king to g7, following through on his ideas. And now queen f4. White immediately starts jumping in on those dark squares. So is black truly going to reach ideal squares for his pieces? Well, not if we can help it. In fact, white's best move here is something that everybody should have as one of their candidate moves. Based on the premise of our famous or relatively common rook's motto. The stronger player gets the rook to the right squares faster and better than the opponent. Therefore, we're going to grab the open file. We're going to keep the queen tied down to c7 because we would love to start mowing across. And now all of black's pieces look a little bit passive. Just a little bit. Well, black does need to get his pieces out to a certain extent. After all, the f6 square is covered by the knight. f7 square is covered by another knight. But on the other hand, things could be rough. There is always, if there was some reason that the queen was on this square, it's too bad we don't have queen takes f7, knight takes e6 check, and knight takes d8. If the queen were hanging, let's just say on c7, queen takes f7 would steal 2 pawns in a row. Simple chess by Steen, yes. With the towery stuff rule, indeed. b4, rook e8, and now a brief moment in time here. White to move, and it might be time to load the cannon on the back rank. By loading the cannon, I mean the move rook to c3, with the possibility of playing queen to c1 and powering our way through. Rook to e7, crazy. Why give him this much? Rook to c8. I think all of black's pieces are really suffering here with knight to g8. And now this position should be just about game over. Candidates for white in this position, just a brief moment to pause. Here's my 60-second timer. What to do here? Our queen is kind of tied down to the d4 pawn. I don't know if we need to sack just yet. Sack on g6, you mean? f8 is covered by the knight. Yeah. f8 is covered by the knight. I'm not entirely sure we're going to accomplish a lot. This could be time. Yeah, bishop takes g6, f takes g6. Kind of run out of steam there. I don't think it's a white to play and move exercise, but it is time for a pawn break in order to open up some lines. That is the key. g4. Opening up these lines, preparing to crack through with h5 if we get a chance. Indeed, after h takes g4, he throws another pawn to the wind. As you've already noted, this diagonal is juicy. Might even get knight to h7. Knight to f6. Might get queen to h2, queen takes h5. Yeah, g4 takes care of business. Black goes a little nuts in this position with f5. You guys. f5, folks. f5. This is everything we had ever hoped for, everything we had ever dreamed of. We knew it from the start. Depending on how he recaptures, we might have h6 check, so the knight on g8 might need to stay in place. And now candidates for white again. Let's give it 60 seconds in this particular position. There are several ways to win, according to the author. The author, by the way, is Zenon Franco of Spassky Move by Move. Certainly bishop takes g6, h takes g6. Fill the void. Rook takes g8. Knight takes g8, could also be. We're going to go back and we're going to look at these. But of course, the main threat is rook takes g8. If we prevent knight takes g8. That's the only clue. Queen e5, as Warnacki points out. The pawn on e6 is feeling it. The pawn on d4 is well guarded. And everything else is falling. Olympus is fallen. Black desperately tries to gain some counterplay, but there's nothing to stop. Rook takes g8, king takes g8, as you pointed out. G takes f2 check, and as usual, we don't allow any counterplay. We don't allow any counterplay. This frees up our queen to be able to move, since queen takes d4 check is no longer an option. Well, there's more than one way to get into a position. Queen takes g6, king f8, and now the game actually ended here, but after king to g8, we get to look for further ways of driving home the nails in the coffin. MD Knight, how are you doing? It's a bit late for you, don't you think? Oh, I meant to send a text because I have a makeup match going on. I have a makeup match going on at Society Billiards, and I was debating whether or not I was going to go, but it's so cold out right now. It is like bristling cold outside in New York. It's ridiculous. Alexa, what's the temperature outside in Celsius?
Right now, it's minus 3 degrees Celsius.
It is minus 3.
Expect a low of minus 6 degrees.
Feels like minus 6 degrees Celsius outside. Ye gods. Crazy. I think I should start icing the steps in front of the house. What a massacre indeed. Poor Sarwan, right? Well, here we're just going to press through with h6, which is quite crazy. And he could not try to escape any other way, because if he tries to run the other way, he runs into devastation. Absolute devastation. Nothing else can block of any lesser note because of queen f7 check and knight to e6 check if the rook tries to block. We certainly don't want to block with the king. Absolutely insane. Spassky, Spassky, Spassky. Craziness. I'm going to keep moving through this. The next one is also a Caro-Kann that I wanted to look at. So we'll keep these two in mind, just to show you what a universal player Spassky was. The next game is Spassky, Reshko. I always find it amusing when, when I can't type at an angle. Leningrad. How long has it been since we've heard about Leningrad? It's been so long that I now forget what these cities are now. I think Leningrad is St. Petersburg. Is that possible? Or St. Petersburg, Petrograd? Right? It's good that you're good. So here we go. Spassky, Reshko. E4, C6. And now Spassky hits him with the two knights variation. D5. Let's turn that off for a moment. And here, of course, the number one continuation is still bishop g4. Personally, I like bishop g4 better. In a bullet game, I prefer to play knight e4 and knight f6. I'm sorry, d takes e4 and knight f6. Knight f6 and e6 are also recommended in a couple of books, just to be on the safe side. Thank you, Warnaki. Yeah, I realized that all of these names are lost on youngsters. It's sort of like my niece asking, what state is Gotham located in? I mean, where does Batman live? Some of these names just seem like fictional devices. In any event, bishop to g4, h6, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, and now In this particular position, e6 is easily the most popular move and the most solid. I tend to prefer what Reshko plays, which is knight f6, Pegasus. How are you, sir? Just a brief Spassky stream amidst all the other studies that I need to do. Once I get this one out of the way, I might retool myself for the opportunity to do another one, because I'm so far behind. We have studies coming up, by the way, in we have a Johnny Hector study stream for Pegasus, De La Bourdonnais study stream. Let me fix the spelling on Bourdonnais, De La Bourdonnais. Not sure whether, I think La Bourdonnais should be capitalized. La should be capitalized in La Bourdonnais. Kosteniuk study stream for Lauren, that is the shortest. That will probably be the easiest and the quickest to do. We have a Capablanca study stream coming up for MD Knight. And for Chess on Earth, was A4 known in Spassky's time? Where are you guys coming from? Here I thought it was just going to be a short stream because I just wanted to get it in for January 3rd, where I am. When I look at my profile, for example, I'll go back. Oh, I've got it in. Hosted a live stream on January 3rd. Excellent. I always thought it was the time I finished that it appeared. So therefore, we made it. Looks like we made it. Sing it, Barry. So now, moment of truth. E5 is Spassky's move to put the question to the knight. Now, believe it or not, White has an amazingly good score here. Daniel Dubov has apparently tried this against Liren Ding. Sevchenko did not succeed against Shimanov, and Mr. Gallego also did not beat the much stronger Lupescu from Romania. Alexei Shirov is the only one who prevailed with this variation, probably because his opponent was much lower rated. Anyone else of note in this particular setup? No one that I know. Keith Arkell on the black side even. Oh, that's a bad sign. Tony Renna, who lives on Long Island, good friend, strong FIDE master against David Brodsky from 2016. Tony Renna on the white side. So I'm going to have to file this one away for future use. Pretty tired. Played really bad during the night. Oh, it's not going to be that long. I'll tell you what. Give me 10 minutes to wrap up this stream, okay, Pegasus? And then you can watch the replay of the next one. Might as well get full credit for your subscription and your channel points. Yeah, I know, right? We're forced into playing knight on f to d7, and now we get a choice of where to place our queen. And he chooses to place his queen on g3, which of course is the simplest way to guard the e5 pawn. e6, bishop e2, and already we can see his designs on perhaps even coming in over here, or simply just getting his king safe. Now it's better now than later that we get our pawn break in with c5. I happen to agree with all of these players that have gone before us. Liren Ding played c5 and Lupescu played c5. Something to be said for that. But black in this particular position keeps the pressure on the pawn. And unfortunately this weak move is perhaps warranting d4. Maybe that's what he wants in order to have a break. But instead, he chooses f4. Spassky was very big on f4 in many positions. Spassky loved playing the King's Gambit. I would love to do a King's Gambit Spassky study stream one of these days. a6, and now candidate moves for white. Before I put the timer on, oh, sorry, wrong one. Wrong keystroke. Candidates for white. Usually it's time for a startling move. Uh-oh. Could be a lesson coming in. Excellent. Excellent. Moment of truth, everyone. What can we do with white? D4, logical. But if we were going to play D4, we might have played it last move. How are we going to get all of our pieces to the best possible squares? That is the question. What to do? I could see A4, A5. Restricting. I could see castles, perhaps. Maybe bishop H5, trying to provoke G6. But no. The move that he actually played was, yeah, B4. Don't tell me that was over here. Was that over here? That was not over here. Can you imagine how that game came up by transposition from some other position? B4. Yeehaw. Congratulations, Mr. Cheeto. Mr. Cheeto Garma, beating Oliver Barbosa, who now lives in New York. He's a great chess coach here in New York City. Very, he works with Impact Chess, I believe. So B4, poor Oliver Barbosa, ending up on the black side of this position. I did not realize that Oliver Barbosa played the Caro-Kann. I may have to look him up. I wanted to put together a team of strong players. And Spassky's opponent actually plays C5. But Spassky's suggestion is to play bishop to B4, allowing queen takes G7, while black gets an initiative in the center. However, apparently, according to the author of this book, Starkist does not agree with it. We could check the evaluation, obviously. G6 makes a lot of sense. C5, not so much, but it is the second best move in the position. Spassky follows through with B5. C4. Too many passers. I'm not sure what a passer is. If it's a passed pawn, we don't have any yet. A passed pawn has to be one that the opponent does not have. Oh, too many passes for white. Yes, in that position. Yes, I agree. But this position is not unlike the win-and-wear variation where we sack two pawns. The unfortunate part, as Tartakower once said, I believe it was Tartakower, I don't think it was Tarish, as I get their quotes mixed up every now and then, before the end game, the gods have placed the middle game. So getting activity on this side of the board would be a far greater accomplishment for black, considering what he had. Right? Sacking those pawns, getting white to move the same piece, let alone the queen, a couple of times and put it off sides, that would be great. C4, rook to B1, and now D4. So black does seem to have gotten some of his counterplay, but every time you push pawns, you weaken squares. And this does not look healthy for anyone. Right? And in fact, the only way we're getting our knight out is by getting rid of this pesky pawn. But white simply castles. He's not interested in recapturing. And now black activates his rook on the second rank. How bad can it be? D3, rook takes C2. This is looking very scary. Could it be that the author would put in a game that Spassky would lose? I don't think so. So now the bishop on E2 has to be dealt with, or does it? Not in Spassky's interpretation. as we're just going to keep on pressing with f5. Oh, not in this position. I apologize. Not in this position. Bishop d1 gaining time on the rook. Of course, we do need to take care of business. And now we get to play f5. How much is it worth, though? On queen takes e5, we skewer through to win the knight on b8. It's only guarded once, and it's attacked twice. So therefore, what to do about this? Well, he chooses knight takes e5. And after fe6, f6, and he seems to want to be playing the barnacle. What to do? Moves for white. Candidate moves for white. Make sure I click on the right one. Candidate moves for white. So Pegasus, we're almost done. If you're still here, I shouldn't say that. Wow, Pegasus just popped right off the radar. Rogue Girl, I believe is, I've never seen Rogue Girl actually contribute to the stream, so she may well be a bot. Would love to hear from you. I can't recall if Rogue Girl has contributed. Nope. But Rogue Girl does have a lot of followers. Oh no! Rogan Joe Sloan was asking when I'm streaming next at 1:20 today when I was teaching all day long. Well, guess what? I'm streaming now. That's why I post in the Discord right before I stream, about 5 minutes before I go on. If you are able to, I don't think I need a dual dojo Discord randomness. Definitely gonna have to clobber that. Stream Elements, CloudBot. I don't really know what the difference is between Stream Elements. I have too many bots. Stream Elements commands. Note to check later. So has anyone got the answer? Discord is a dupe, whether it is or not. So here we are, everyone. It is time. Bishop h5 check, rook takes b5, absolutely. Well, I think you absolutely on the ball with bishop h5 check, except he prepares bishop h5 check with rook takes f6. Rook takes f6, and only after g takes, knight takes, king to d8, knight to d5. Now we can see that the queen is, well, having a tough time of it, keeping the knight protected. Only move. And now how do we circle around that knight? Right? If we play bishop f4, the opponent gets knight c6. So we're going to throw in the intermezzo bishop to g5 check, sentencing the knight to the corner. And now moment of truth. Candidates for white. How am I keeping? Oh no, I'm 2 minutes overdue. I said I would be done in 10 minutes. I'm 2 minutes overdue, possibly because there were a few more candidate moves than I expected. How do we make the most of this position is the key. That should be a command. Oh, if I spelled it right, might even be a better command. Maybe. If I can spell pieces. Oh, pieces is not a command either. What? I wouldn't say, hey, let's just go back. I don't think it prevented knight c6, but he has the very simple bishop f4, knight c6, but he has a better idea for punishing black than even I originally experienced. My first thought was that we were going to play bishop f6 check. Oh, I didn't even want to give it away. Whoops. I did not want to give it away. The idea here is that we get to attack the knight and something else. So this is easily one of my candidate moves, bishop f6. That's the one I was referring to, Warnacki. Instead, though, he comes up with an even more dastardly move, bishop to g4. Which threatens to push the pawn with check. And honestly, it is hard to see what white really has after a move like knight takes g4. However, the most tenacious defense, and the reason for Starkist not liking this continuation, is that black should indeed play bishop to g7, apparently, instead of knight to g4. Is day takes c4 atrocious? Let's take a quick peek here. So, well, d takes c4, knight takes c4. Are we promoting our pawn? What's the material count? D takes c4 does guard the knight for all of one move. D takes c4, knight takes c4, attacks the queen. And if queen takes d6, bishop takes d6, I think black has time to unravel. So it's possible that black does have time to unravel. If e7 check, then knight takes g4. But the queen will be hanging. After bishop g7, e7 check, knight takes g4 is no longer feasible. Just not working. But there is something else going on here. After knight takes g4, what was the idea with bishop g7 then? Let's take a quick peek. Well, if e7 check, there is no threat to either the bishop, the queen, or the whatchamacallit, so we can actually just start bringing out our pieces, right? And maybe, if we're lucky, we might even get to scooch out of here. Confused as usual, yeah. We just have to make sure that e7 doesn't come with a major threat in either direction, and this rook is not helping. So, yeah. How are you, Postulate? I realize you are also part of the original 50 subscribers, so I haven't given up for either you or Dark Myths, because Dark Myth wanted me to do the 24-hour tall stream. It's just that in my life I just can't quite make it work just yet. I wish I didn't have to do anything else. But in this position, e7 is actually the move. Is that crazy? Because the queen cannot be taken because e8 is made. Getting a queen, that is. So therefore, bishop takes e7 is forced, and only now, with the queen recapturing, black has to choose how he's getting out of dodge. Do we take the knight with check? Bishop f4, and life does not look good for our erstwhile opponent. Moves for white here on move number 28. Yes, moves for white. Candidate moves for white. The game is coming to a close. Candidates for white. Was it peace? I thought I put a peace command in here. Yeah, peace and pieces have to be united. We can call another command with peace. Peace coordination and peace relocations. Yes, indeed, Warnaki. Multiple threats. Not just to the queen, but double checks to the king. Attacks on the knight. Attacks on the rook. Discoveries on the king. And it is nearly game over, so he runs for it. Does Spassky take a rook when he can bother a queen? Never. And after bishop takes d4, the game comes to a screeching halt. And this game is supposed to be right here next to the other 1959 game. There are a lot of supplementary games in here which I'm not going to do. Oh, maybe I have done them. The king and queen are not very distinct from each other. You're absolutely right. I had to disable my Lichess. There's a bug. I actually registered for GitHub to register a bug. I'll show you the bug. There is a bug in the Lichess enhancement. So I'll turn on my Lichess enhancement suite again, because I prefer these other pieces. I don't know which one it is actually. I think it's Lichess Enhancement Suite 2.0. Then I just need to close this for a moment. Reopen my Lichess. And when I show you what's going on under Learn Chess Basics. No, we still have it. Never mind. What's going on here? So it must be Lichess 1.0. That must be the Chess Enhancement Suite. So I'm glad I ironed it out, which one is which. Collect errors. View in Chrome Web Store. Let's close it again. And now I'll open it up. And when we go here, Chess Basics. Yes, I think. Nope, I still don't have my. Where are my? My Neo pieces? Yep. Study. Let's go back to Spassky for just a brief moment. There we go. Now I've changed the pieces back to the ones that I like, right? Alpha, maybe I need to try a different piece set. Because watch what's going to happen now on Lee Chess Basics. If I go to capture, here we go, ready? How's that for a buck? Rook takes pawn. This does not work really well when you're teaching kindergartners. Same thing here, by the way. Now, if I disable the Lee Chess Enhancement Suite, I have to manage the extensions and disable the Lee Chess Enhancement Suite. I have to close it, open it up again. I just disabled Lee Chess Enhancement Suite. I just disabled Lee Chess 1.0. And now if I do my captures, yeah, I have to disable the other one. Lee Chess Enhancement 2.0. I have to disable that one.
Hi, Mom.
And then, hey boo boo. There we go. How about details? Inspect views, service worker, inactive, collect errors. I'm just going to do some of those things there. I'm going to turn off the Lee Chess Enhancement Suite 2.0. We'll open it up again. And under Learn Chess Basics, now with this piece set, I can actually capture pieces. So if I do want to find a piece set that's similar to the others in the normal Lee Chess piece suite, I'm using a very similar background so people don't notice that the board has changed from the ICC board. This is one of those default sets, yes. You're welcome, Ezrin. So you're saying that I should do this more often? I will definitely do that. I should set up an 8 p.m. or a 9 p.m. tournament. So if I open up the menu, board theme. Hold on 1 second. Piece set. Yep. No, it wasn't one of the default sets. It was the Lee Chess Enhancement pieces. So these pieces are this one right here. And I went through a lot of them for the most part, trying to find one that I like. You have to really see a full board of pieces to be able to really get it. Where's my, let's see a full board of pieces. And we'll go back to Spassky for a moment. So I like the fact that you can see the squares around the pieces. Alpha is third on top row. Thank you. This one? Oh, third on the top row. That one is very distinct. Interestingly enough, though, on the other, I've gotten quite a few compliments on the other because apparently the other one appeals to chess.com streamers. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these older rooks. I don't mind the queens though, but for the classroom experience, I'm trying to find something. A normal board. That has black knights on it. piece set. I mean, this is the default set, right? I do kind of like this one. I am a big fan of this one. The middle one of the third row. Yeah, this one, at least the pawns look more like the pawns, because the kids like the pawns to look like this. When you look at this one down here, these pawns look like the pawns of the chess set in the classroom. Yeah, I agree with you. I like beautiful black knights too. These knights look like they are on fire. Yuck. Yuck. You know, this might be a good alternative. But the knights look very cool here. I like the space around the pawns and the kings and the queens here though. Let me just change over to whole screen FM training for a moment. And that way I can see what the chess piece set that we're talking about over here. Oh, these are my chess.com. It's hard to tell the difference, right? Wait a minute now. That's crazy, my chess.com pieces. These have the fat pawns. Where are my settings here? Board and pieces. This is the board, the ICC board and the ICC pieces. But I still like these pieces a lot. Oh, I have to close it. Oh, not Chess Kit. Wow. So yeah, I've gotten definitely not the default set on chess.com, the ICC one, exactly. Only it's spelled ICC, S-E-A. But I'm bummed. I can't even remember what the ICC looked like. I really cannot remember what the ICC looked like. Oh, here I have these. Yeah, this is the ICC default. The ICC, that's what they call it, exactly. I haven't played in so long. Wow, I'm in the 5-minute pool waiting to be prepared. I have never waited this long to be paired. Ever in my entire life. Are there no players on? Who? It says there are only 831 players on ICC. Well, I got a 3-minute game. Oops. I'm going to turn it into a gambit, I guess. As best we can.
Check.
Old school in its simplicity indeed. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to do. That was the other reason why I was only going to do a short stream. Oh man, I am totally busted here. Let's sneak up on this pawn. as best we can. Thank you for the help. Somebody's got to do it for me. And now, is there a threat? Let's get back to here. Isn't this a horrid display, though? It really is a horrid display. It is so sad how horrid this display is. Check, check, check. Am I still down a pawn? I still seem to be down a pawn. Bummer. Can I simplify into a knight endgame? Do I want to dare simplify into a
Check.
knight endgame? Wow. Pre-move disaster. A pre-move disaster.
Check.
Can I do this?
Check.
This could work out in my favor.
Check. Check.
How badly do I play? That's what I
Check.
want to know. How badly do I play?
Check.
Egads. I almost want to trap him over
Check.
there.
Say goodnight, Grandpa.
Check.
That should do it. Good night, Bubby. You got your Harry Potter pajamas on?
No, he had those yesterday. He's got his dinosaur pajamas.
Dinosaur jammies.
And he gets to wear whatever he wants to school tomorrow. It's a wear your favorite clothes day for 3K tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I know. I'm kind of happy he gets it because he missed pajama day before
Check.
before winter break.
That's pretty
He
cool.
missed school on pajama day, and you know his favorite clothes are pajamas, so that's what he's going in tomorrow.
I'm sure.
Check. 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 Check.
Isn't this annoying? The checks.
Check. Time. Check.
Well, that was interesting. I haven't played on the ICC in like forever. But why is my rating so low in 3 minutes? That's the question. Hey, boo. No, I dominate the internet. I know. When I'm streaming, the Wi-Fi is dedicated to this computer. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. So I was just laughing at somebody who's chatting in my stream, Ezra on the West Coast. He was so thankful I'm streaming at a time that's kind to the West Coasters because 5 o'clock in the morning is not cool. But I'll be done soon. All right. Love you. Bye. Yeah, at one moment or another, when my router was battling it out with everybody else, I found a way on my router to dedicate all of the internet's energy to my stream. Oh God, a brand new one? This is terrible. Watch how easy these guys are, I tell you. Hold on here, I'm trying to think. Actually, it's not that hard. At least they gave me a mate and 2 here. At least they gave me a mate and 3 here. This is ridiculous, don't you think? Did you see those? In fact, when it stops giving you the ones that are checkmate, you kind of wonder what's happening, right? Like suddenly it stopped giving me checkmate in 2. And now we're getting into the discoveries. The discoveries of queen versus rook. Save, save, and then capture. Oh, that was all forced, huh? Fine. I guess it's mate in 1. I think I should be able to see mate in 2 fast enough by the time I'm done with the first 20 on by the time I'm done with the first 20 on this. Really test me on that queen f8, right? Mate in 1. Worst fish. I know you keep saying that. I apologize for not considering it more seriously. Where were you moving that D-Rock? I know, right? This is why you beat up on me so routinely. It's why you beat up on me so routinely. And all of the Chessable guys are gonna name all of these mates. And honestly, the mates don't mean anything to me. Yahoo Chess got killed off. Yellow belt, though, that's pretty cool, I have to admit. I think if I have a choice between these 2, I'm going to take that one. So let's see here. Could this be? I am stumped. Rook f6. I'm sorry, knight f6 is the threat. My opponent wants knight f6. Rook takes. What can I really do with this guy? I can't see what the last move was. Oh, it was bishop takes back that way instead of bishop takes forward. Oh, because he wanted to stop the mate. Apostolette, what's up? Oh, of course. Silly me. He didn't stop the mate, indeed. But I mean, honestly, these exercises are just so like straightforward. It's like ridiculous that I should. I actually prefer the endgame ones to almost anything. I guess it takes. So ridiculous, these exercises compared to compared to the Lichess exercises. These are a wee bit ridiculous. So let's see, we have two bishops each. The main deal is, how am I capturing? Because we're up in material, all I have to do is not lose the material back. I am overly cautious when it comes to these, by the way. Overly cautious. So we're going to queen with check, right? What is there? Is there a threat in any way, shape, or form? Isn't this bizarre? Does it want me to grab another pawn? That is the question. Does it want me to grab another pawn, or do I do this with check and then push the pawn? Personally, I just want to do it with check and push the pawn. Alright, now we're reaching the threshold where I make 3 in a row mistakes. Honestly, I will. I will just make 3 mistakes in a row. Like that one. Not seeing mate in 1, for example. And now I just don't want to stalemate. I move my king here. The 2 knights mate. You don't get that every day. Black to move. Alright. That was a nice puzzle, the night one. Indeed. So what do I do with this fellow? I feel like I just want to take. Oh, you know what? This is one of those where we guard our piece. We guard our piece and then we take. That's what I feel it is. I feel it's one of those where we guard our piece and then we take, but he has queen f4 check. So queen takes a4, queen takes a8. Then we stop everything. King inside the square. I can't do it with my mouse. My mouse is getting sticky. I'm surprised it didn't make me take the 2 remaining pawns. The cheeky under promote. I know, right? Why guard as rook hangs, exactly. So, this one is the tricky one. My high score is 55 or 60, I can't remember. For the most part, what to do here? Rook h8, takes, Sonara. Work it all the time. I feel like the rook on h3, I'm sorry, on g4 is just being trapped. But can I just force him away from it? Just like that. There we go. The hard part is just not getting tricked. Yeah, no, I could get tricked by. I looked at queen f3. I looked at king h3. I thought it was a bunch of checks in a row, followed by x. All right, we're about to do really, really well here in this one. But so is this just a piece trap? Is the queen trapped? Looks like the queen could be trapped with knight e5. Knight e5, queen f4, queen e4. So it looks like the queen is very close to being trapped. And of course, if he played queen e4, then we were playing knight f4. Knight c4. On-screen chat is super delayed. It is. It's possible that my internet is even slower. Yeah, queen f3. Oh, never mind. You know what it is? I know what it is. I need to move it up. There's chat behind the follower box. I'm glad you pointed this out. It's because we switched scenes. The chat box in this particular window needs to be redone. So it's just behind. So meanwhile, .45 in the books. Is it time to take a break? I don't need to finish this. Takes, check, takes, queen d1, queen takes d3, and I clean up. This is around the time when I jettison massively. Is there a threat? Rook takes queen, yeah? So I'm down a bishop. Oh. So rook a1, queen takes. Can he move his king? Discord. I can push the on-screen chat up. Rook a8. Rook h8, yes. I did notice that this well, let's just look at this for a moment. Knight takes queen. Why am I not just playing knight takes queen? Knight takes queen, rook takes, pawn takes. That's my first thought. And I'm just winning, right? It's usually something ridiculously silly. But yeah, when they flip it back and forth like that, knight fork? Possibly. But what's the, oh, no, but the rook is hanging at the end. So yeah, I have to guard the rook. And then I get to save my rook. You're absolutely right. Or knight hangs to bishop. Dude, chick chidley. We're going through some of these really, really straightforward, easy puzzles. Easy does it. This looks like it should be a very straightforward. Which one? Does it matter which one? Rook to e1. Yeah, it does matter which one. I can't let him take it with check. There we go. Now 48. Yeah, these are all really, really difficult puzzles. They really are. This is why I have a tough time with lead chess puzzles. Check, check, check. It looks like it's just mate. Why is it not just mate? Rook d8, queen a8, and how does he save himself? Right? Or is it? Which one comes first? This is the hard part. If it is queen to b8 check and rook to d8, which one really comes first? And what is the threat? I guess he has queen to b6 check. We're having so much fun here that I can't possibly fathom. Yeah, queen to b6 check is the annoying part. So queen to e8. I just want everybody to know that I usually figure this out before I look at chat. But I appreciate the extra support for me to look over and confirm that I've already said what I needed to say. So rook to d8 check, king moves, queen to e8, looks right, or is it? Is it queen to b8 check and then rook to d6? That is the question. But what does that do? I don't get it. Queen to e8 check. So let's look for more weaknesses here. Yeah, I know. Let's look for more weaknesses. Queen to b8 check and rook to d6. Just doesn't seem like enough. I mean, there's like no threat in this position whatsoever. So it looks like I can do whatever I want to do. Sorry, just cleaning my screen there. I have to get a COVID test in the morning. Alright, I'm having a tough time seeing it here. Is the rook trapped? How about that? I don't see a way to get on the rook. Well, I'm overdue for getting one wrong. These are 2,600 puzzles. This one is the first one that I feel should be 2,600. All the others were not really master strength puzzles, if you ask me. So in order to keep rook to d6 check in the loop, queen to b8, king a7, rook to d6, queen to b1. Rook to d8, check. I just don't see it. What do you think, guys? This is like ridiculously... Also, you know what's annoying about all the other Puzzle Rush guys? You know what's really annoying about all the other Puzzle Rush guys is that they cover up all of their scores on the right, so that like you can't even see the complete streaks. You only see like 2 of them. So queen to b8, check. Queen takes a7. Rook to, but I'm really worried about queen to b1 after rook d6. Yeah, I can't do it though. Queen to b8, check. King moves. Rook to d6. Queen to b1. Gegenspiel. So I guess because of queen to b8, I'm going to play queen to e8 check. But I don't see the future in it. How about b5? Is the bishop trapped on b5? That's it. Queen to b8 check. King moves b5. Is it trapped? Rook to b3. Yeah. So queen to b8 check. b5. Rook to b3. Yeah, I think this is it. I think we're on to something here with queen to b8 check, king a7, b5, rook to b3, and then rook to d8, and he doesn't have time to check or do anything. So now b5 traps the bishop. Rook to d8 first, queen to b6 check, saves him. So b5 sets up the trap on the bishop. And if queen to c2, there's no queen to c2, there's no queen to b1, there's no queen anything. So what's the threat? If rook to b3 happened, then it would have been rook to d8. What's the threat? Just checking. That was it. Andreas Borelli, how are you? Life in the Eternal City. So I should take on d4 with check and play bishop to b2 check. 2:27 a.m. Happy New Year, Andreas, by the way. I am going to go on a massive Italian binge one of these days. So queen to b4 check appeals to me. I'm sorry, queen to a5 check appeals to me. So it looks like, what happens if I take on d4 with check and then play c5? Is it mate? It looks like it's mate. E takes d4, king takes d4 is forced. c5 check, king to c6, queen to c6 is mate. So c5, king to c3, queen to a5 check is mate. Yeah, queen to b4 check would be spicy. So this is, I'm going to retire Puzzle Rush for some time to come, whether or not I break my new high score. This is where I need to get 3 wrong in a row. I really do. I need to get 3 wrong in a row. So the obvious move here is knight to e3, right? Queen to e2. Knight takes g2. Thank you very much. Or is it knight to g2? Because he has queen to e6 check. So the first move looks obvious. And do I just take Sonara? Work it all the time, or do I play knight to c2? Yeah, I know. And knight h2 wasn't forceful enough. I know, right? 73 Deshi, by the way, thanks to MD Knight, Chess Kudo, and many other followers. The legends. I should make Chess MD Knight one of the legends of the stream. I really should. Even though he's not a streamer. I can't get over that picture that they come up with for MD Knight every time, whether it's his twin brother or not. So he has queen takes e6 check. So on knight takes g2, is it worth it? Right? I believe that it's knight takes c2. And I just move my king. Ah. I should have gotten some confirmation from you guys. Yeah, but what does it really do? My knight's still hanging, but no, then rook takes knight at the end. No, it's not that. It wasn't that. Knight takes g2 might have been better. But queen takes e6 either way. I'm not up any material at the end of that. There had to have been something else going on in that one. Queen takes g2. Yeah, rook takes g2. King h1. Rook takes d2. And then white plays rook takes e3. Remember? Unless I play queen takes g2. Queen takes g2. Knight takes g2 with the discovery. Do I get anything out of that? I just don't see anything out of that. So meanwhile, yeah, we're not winning the bishop. There's something else going on in there. But the good news is, wait a minute, the pawn is about to promote. All he has to do is move it and promote. So it's black to move. Could it be that complicated? Do I have no protection against a perpetual check. Hold on. So queen to h3, king to b2, king to b2, queen to a6, king to b2, queen check, king to c2. No, there should not be a perpet. But it's too simple. So now the moment of truth. Do I try to step out and away? One of these two moves is the right move. One of these two moves is the right move. Chess.com puzzles don't allow any leeway. Promote tonight so you can go queen h6, knight a3. Exactly. Like it's probably not the obvious move. Oh, I see what I have to do. I have to get my king back to a1 so that I can cover with my queen. Is that correct? So let's just say he checks. Then I play king in, queen checks, crossover, yeah. Not a1. Trust me, that's exactly how I screw up, Apostolate. Exactly the way you were thinking. I would think that exact thought, and then I would say, I don't get it, and I'd be very perturbed. It would be nice to get a new high score here because I'm not even trying. Check. Check. This should just be game over, right? How much material am I down? Am I down any material? I can't move my bishop, so this must be it. I don't want to repeat the position. Queen a3. Hold on, I have to look at that one. I can put the queen on c3. Oh, it was one of those drawing puzzles? Because I'm faced with mate, I had to draw. Yeah. That makes sense. That's lovely. Well, the only good news about that stuff knight takes, pawn takes check. Queen's hanging. My number 2 score of all time. So here we look at this one. And we download it right here. We download it after that move. It's good to, oh, wait a minute. Send that back up again. I wanted to make sure I friend you on this. No, I have to go pick up my wife at the train station shortly. I promised her that I would. In fact, I'm not supposed to be streaming this long. So that's you. What? I'm already following you. Never mind. I thought I wasn't following you. What's that mean? So much about this server that I know nothing about. Yeah, we're friends already. Well, I didn't look at the answer. Alright, so the answer is queen takes d4 check. Then knight takes queen. I get one pawn out of the deal. Queen takes pawn. Oh, let me just look at this. I guess I have an outside pass pawn advantage. I take, and what else? Pawn on c5's hanging? Okay, fine. Close. Next. Absolute scam indeed. So this one is a perpetual check. Yes. Don't you love those draw puzzles? When you least expect it. I just didn't weigh up the sense of danger that we were facing with mate. So after this, I download it there. I keep all the puzzles I ever miss, which doesn't happen that often, but at least I get to keep 3. And now this one, after the first move, download it in this position. So 93. Queen e2. Well, no, I don't want to do that just yet. So knight takes g2 to me is the only other answer. But we're not up any material. We have 5 pawns to 6 pawns. And is it rook takes g2, queen takes g2, rook takes g2, rook takes d2, rook takes e3, and then king d7, and I'm up in material? Am I up in material? No, I'm not even up in material. Knight takes g2, queen takes e6, check. And if I move my king, queen takes g6, knight takes e1, queen takes g6, knight takes e1. Alright, that looks like it. So it's queen, knight takes g2, queen takes e6, king moves, queen takes g6, knight takes e1. Ready for it? Okay. Should be king moves. I could have worked that out. Yes, I could have worked that out. That's so rude. Wow, is that rude. I tied my number 2 all time. Queen takes g2 is not winning. Oh no, it's not winning. That's the problem with this engine jettison. So here. Queen takes g2 is better for black. Knight takes c2 is better for black. But not clearly better. Useless towers. Can't believe you'd give up a knight to win a bishop, sir. Knight takes g2 is definitely the one. Yeah, I was happy I saw that one pretty clearly. And that's all we're up. King d7. Rook takes c2, rook takes e6, rook f2. Yeah, that's the annoying part. My new chair. Oh no, not this one. I'm not getting that one. I'm getting a different one. No, no puzzle rush. I do have to get going though. I do want to see my score though. No, I don't want to go here. Puzzle rush. Leaderboard. Friends. Personal. So 52 was my second high score. I thought I had higher than 53. I didn't make the hourly leaderboard, daily leaderboard. I don't make the daily leaderboard either. Because I started it on a different day. Yeah, this is my type of competition. Yeah, I know, right? So what do I do? Do I stay with this one or do I go with this one? These knights look like they should eat something. But for my classes, I guess I can change it back to this one. But this one is certainly more appealing. This one I like the space around the pieces. I like the space around the pawns. But you know what? I can leave it at this for now. I just need to re-enable my my lead chest notify. Manage extensions. So I thought, how about if I remove this one and reinstall it? Chess enhancement suite. Maybe that's what I need to do. Let's remove it and reinstall it. Uh-oh, where did lead chess enhancement speed 2.0 go? If I uninstall one, do I lose both of them? Here we go. New styles of pieces and boards. So is it only the one? Maybe because I had both of them installed. That could sometimes cause a problem. A billion extensions you got there. I do have a billion extensions. Lead chest notify is my favorite. Well, wait, I saw it. It was still there. Lead chest enhancement was still there even though I uninstalled it. Okay. Or maybe I didn't uninstall it. Maybe I need to I wanted to see if it was just having both of them installed at the same time. That was the problem. So, Chess Basics, Capture. So I have to uninstall it. Oh, but 1.0 did not get uninstalled. Oh no, chess.com enhancement suite. That one doesn't count. Remove. And now, oh, but let's do this. Close, close to clear. Clear the cache. Then we go with this one. Then I go with, whoops, manage extensions. Maybe it's the chess.com enhancement suite. Who cares about that, right? Let's go to Learn, Chess Basics, Capture. So that's all good. I didn't change my pieces. What was I going with? I'm going with the alpha that you recommended, sir. I am. I'm going with the alpha. Piece set. These rooks look kind of Eatonheimers. In every default time control. Oh, this isn't the alpha? Oh, this was the alpha. Sorry, I'm upgrading chess base in the background. Updating chess base, which is going to require me to restart my computer, probably. English, chess base 16, run. Alright, maybe it didn't require me to restart my computer, that's good. Study, World Championship, any board will do. So this is the alpha? No. This one I kind of like, but I like the space around the pieces with this one, but those are fat pawns. Those are some fat pawns. These are some skinny pawns. I'm only worried about the being able to tell the. I like the mouth. It's the bishops, I think, for the most part. I'm not a big fan of the religious bishops. Like this is less religious. There's no cross on it. But I also like the knights to have a little bit more character too. See how all these bishops have crosses on them? I prefer a nice slanted bishop. So when I was with this one, where was it? This had a very nice, you know, when you look at a real chessboard, the bishops do have these. For example, here's a wood set. Oh, here's a wood set. One of my favorite old wood sets. Probably I've had this set the longest. We do have some ferocious knights, but they're not that ferocious, obviously. But check out that the bishops have a nice fat top. This one sort of reminds me of my own wood. Now this is one of those Indian sets. Let's see if I can put this up here so it's not focusing on anyone else. It's got it's got a decent mane. It's got very well carved eyes. Unfortunately, this one is also a set that is missing the ball on the top of the queen. But it's interesting because this looks exactly like my set. Isn't this funny? That's what's so hysterical about this one. Like the rooks. I'm looking for the black queen. Has my grandson been here? Just got to check. But here's a nice black knight. And the knights are pretty good. This is a heavy wood set, relatively decent carved knights. And I pulled out like so many pieces, I still don't have the black queen. She is being very elusive. More pieces. Yeah, it's funny, right? So the black queen looks a lot like the one that you see pictured there. The top is almost barely protruding out of, let's see if I can do it this way without it focusing on my hand. In any event, yeah, so this set appeals to me only because it looks like my set. I didn't realize that. No, these knights are terrible. I agree that they're terrible. Make sure I have to keep an eye on my wife coming home. Because it is so freezing out there at -6 Celsius. I don't want her to have to walk home from the train station. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Indeed, -6 is cold. Helsinki in the house. That camera looked terrible. In fact, on that whole screen, just chatting screen. It's too bad you can't just get the whole thing, right? Eating Ivers, were you in Switzerland as well? No, it's true, I don't really need it, but when the wind strikes up, that's when things get a little dicey. Alright, I will give this one a go for a little while, just for you, sir. But meanwhile, I'm going to go back to managing my extensions. Search extensions? No. I need to go to the store. Or do I just need to search lead chest enhancement? Lead chest enhancement suite provided by Pfizer. So this is the one that I kind of like. Oh, I'm not showing my screen anymore. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, the Lee Chess Enhancement Suite. Now, manage extensions. Lee Chess Enhancement Suite. Got it. So now when I go up here, it should be right there. Neo and the ICC. Got it. I need to close that and open it. Learn. Chess Basics. Capture. Ta-da! And it's not my video memory. I've proven that it's only the so bizarre, right? Isn't that a strange bug? So therefore I registered for GitHub just to register the bug. Oh wait, maybe let me just go back there for a moment. So if I do this, and then I click anywhere, I guess I can click anywhere, but the kids get distracted by stuff like that. And then and another one that it had when you pawn promote. Let's go with the pawn. There was another one where you promote the pawn and it stays a pawn. Except that that pawn can now capture. You know? But it's only, wait a minute, is it only the queen? Is it a touch screen thing? Hold on, let's go back. No, this was happening in the so it's a rook. And it stays a pawn. Stays a pawn. So let's try my touch screen. Ah, so if I use my touch screen, interesting. Atumatati, how are you? Atul Madatil, how are you? Not letting its new abilities go to its head. Indeed. Quite crazy. Alright. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. It has truly been a pleasure. I was just about to sign out. But I appreciate everybody coming to hang out. We did do some things. We updated our study for Spassky. Which was all good. I'm going to copy the URL and put it in the Discord. For the new Spassky editions. 17 games. Filling it up. Let's go back to our birthday events. Go back to this one. Community. Teams. Tomorrow is Ioannis Nikolaidis' birthday. Chose a Greek player for tomorrow. Greek championship in 1995. So I did get a stream in for Monday, January 3rd, in theory. This is all well and good. I'm going to pass you off to Velcro Dot. She is one of my favorites. Let's see if she's got the, I'm going to refund you on the stretch. Alrighty, buddy? I have to refund you on the stretch. Certainly one of my favorites. Thank you, Apostolate. Everyone, cheers. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Ciao. More later. Hey.
Are we gonna get attacked? That's what John, thank you very much for the raid. How are you doing, John? John and Raiders, I present to you.
Thank you.
Loki.
Wait, what's this?
That I don't
Aww.
know. A really cute one.
Thank you.
I guess there's also just like Rook C1, but like why? There's